Good Wednesday morning, East Tennessee. Are your teeth chattering? I think it's a new month. Must be a new month. That's what it has to be. It's because today's November 1st. Good morning. It is the start of a new month. Not quite meteorological winter, but may feel like it because it's so cold this morning. And maybe, just maybe, you're thinking about how am I going to stay warm this winter? You know, it takes a little preview like we've had this morning and tonight to make us realize maybe I need to worry about something, about maybe my heat. But let me show you what I'm talking about. The temperatures right now, 33 degrees in Knoxville. That's some cold air. 31, it's below freezing in Oak Ridge. Rockwood not reporting, but we can interpolate there around 31 degrees. It's 25 in Crossville, 28 in Sevierville. It is cold, my friend, and it's chilly too when you throw in the wind. Oh, it's going to make it feel like it's even colder, so something to think about as you prepare to start the day today. Temperatures today will stay chilly even in the afternoon. Many of us will not get out of the 40s today, so it's a cold day, no question about it. In fact, our ultimate Doppler radar, which I believe we can show you here, has certainly the freeze warnings that have been in effect since midnight. They will last until 10 o'clock this morning. The Ultimate Doppler radar presented by A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, focused on customer satisfaction. They won't quit until you're happy. Yeah, this is going to run until another round of it tonight. This goes until 11/2, so that's tomorrow, 9 a.m., which we'll break down here in just a moment. But I certainly want to bring up to speed that because A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling, they've been a family-owned business now since 1982. James Fincham started this company, and they've been doing such a fantastic job. I wanted to partner with them. 865-947-4267. Is your heat not working so well this morning? Are you concerned about the heat that you have to keep going tonight because we're going to be in the mid-20s across the board? Much colder tonight. You might want to give them a call, 865-947-4267. By the way, if you want to avoid the dirty sock syndrome, I'm not talking about your laundry. No. I learned a lot from A1 Fincham when I sat down and talked to them just a few weeks ago. 865-947-4267 is an answer that if you have questions about dirty sock syndrome. I'm talking about what this looks like here, because when you add this particular picture, when you're talking about the foul-smelling odor that's coming from your AC unit this past summer, moisture, dust, they can build up. Dirt and bacteria, they can build up. And then, of course, you got mold and mildew. So it has the nickname dirty sock syndrome, but A1 Fincham can address these issues along with keeping you warm this upcoming winter. A1 Fincham's monthly maintenance plan, I love it because think about this. They'll come out once before winter, once before summer. And many of you are thinking, boy, I wish I had them come out before now because it's cold. It's going to be even colder, like I said, tonight. So please make sure that you're bundled up. And this goes until 10 a.m. today, freeze warning. Every county in East Tennessee is covered, as is Southeast Kentucky. So the Jackson National Weather Service office covering Southeast Kentucky. But you can see from Morristown's perspective, everybody had the potential to freeze tonight, and that would also cause the ragweed to go away. Temperatures should be uniformly in the 20s tonight. So you've got a midnight to 9 a.m. Thursday start and stop time for again. So even though it might expire at 10 o'clock this morning, it's only going to come back a wave around number 2 from midnight to 9 a.m. Thursday. Kind of curious if you are bundled up. Hopefully you are. But just to recap, temperatures right now, 33 in Knoxville, 31 Oak Ridge. It is 30 degrees in Wartburg, and it's already in the mid-20s in places like Sevierville and Crossville. Very cold, no doubt. You throw in some wind. What kind of wind are we talking about? Obviously, it can't be that windy. Doesn't take much. All it takes is an 8-mile-an-hour wind in Knoxville. Suddenly 33 degrees feels like 26. Oh, yeah, it feels like 19 right now in Cumberland County. Way to represent the teens there, Cumberland County. That's cold. My teeth are chattering just thinking about it. And there are some areas in purple that would suggest it probably feels like the single digits on the tops of the Smokies. It is cold, my friend. So that's why I really urge you to make sure you wear layers. Kids who've been trick-or-treating know it all too well. And even though today is November 1st, the median first freeze is typically November 2nd. How apropos, how appropriate that we're going to have our mid-20s tonight and tomorrow morning, and our first freeze could technically be this morning, but it's only going to be reinforced tonight. So no doubt it is cold across the board. And temperatures 35 in Chattanooga. They're in the upper 20s in Lexington, Kentucky, 27 in Jackson, Tennessee. I want to say good morning to you. If you're on the call, just want to say good morning. How are you staying warm? How are you staying warm? Are you flipping the switch? Is that fireplace working for you? Or are you actually putting on a log on the fire? Would love to know. Steve Stone says good morning. He's on my YouTube channel. We're doing both, YouTube, Facebook today, as we've been doing for the last couple of weeks. Marilyn Bell says, Burr, it's cold outside. Wanda Poe, it's cold, David. She says, it's nice, warm fire this morning. She's staying warm, obviously, from a fire. I love it. And if we jump back on Facebook, we've got some comments, I think, that are building here. Dennis Hatcher, good morning. A cold 28 degrees. Are you sure about that in Dandridge? That's cold. 28 degrees. I feel for you because I know unless you're wearing a coat, certainly maybe have a cup of coffee. Hot cup of coffee would help too. Carrie says, good morning. Be sure to have that hot cup of coffee to help you stay warm. Danny Feedback says, good morning, David. Go Vols. Have a great day. And Nancy Douglas Moses, happy freezing Wednesday, Captain. Ready for my coffee? Have a good day. Thanks for keeping us updated on the weather. Glad to have Nancy here. Danny, Dennis, as well as Carrie. Well, if you're on the call, and we are live here at 6:45, it's not going to get much better tonight. Just know that if this was the preview, the main attraction is tonight, we're going to be in the mid-20s. That's what I want to brace you for. The temperatures are in the mid to upper 20s right now in western sections of Kentucky and back toward maybe west Tennessee. At least in the terms of Jackson, they are very cold. And if you want to see what this looks like around the country, they're at 20 in Topeka, 22 in Des Moines, and 22 in Bismarck. And that's actually modified a bit because they were much colder in some parts of the Dakotas this time yesterday morning. So it is what it is. The cold air starting the new month for November, making us remind us that summer is now long gone, and we have now said probably officially goodbye to the growing season. Certainly a goodbye to the allergy season for the calendar year, as ragweed will not have its impact like it's had before. Now, these clouds that have been with us, mostly high clouds, are going to thin out pretty quickly this morning, so I expect full sunshine for most, if not everybody, across the board. Believe it or not, it's been snowing in West Virginia. If you long for some snow and you go, I want some snow, just hop in the car. Come on, let's do a road trip. Head up to West Virginia, maybe toward Beckley. Certainly snowshoe. I'm sure they've been getting flurries or snow showers. That's what we're seeing up in the mountain state of West Virginia as some of that air rides upslope into the Smokies. Lots of freeze concerns in not only Tennessee, but the Carolinas, into Virginia, into Texas, into Louisiana. It's just across the board in the southeast. And while it might be raining in parts of the mid-Atlantic, they've got some snow in West Virginia and parts of Pennsylvania and Ohio. But quiet here. They've had quite a bit of snow across parts of the upper plain states, but it's been active in the Great Lakes. So the Great Lake effect snow machine has been running the last couple of days for sure. Now, we don't have visibility issues. That's a good sign. No signs of fog. If you've got fog, let me know, because I can only share with the intel that I have. But we will go from the 20s now in many locations into the upper 40s to near 50. I mean, if you're in the sun, you might say, yeah, it didn't feel as bad. But if I'm in the shade, yeah, it doesn't feel like it gets out of the 40s. And that's how they measure the temperature at the airport. It's measured in the shade, average high 66. So if you're planning a lunchtime and it's only 40, some of you will still be in the 30s at lunchtime, and you'll say, this is for the birds, this isn't for me. I'm ready to just hop out of the season and change it back to the warm pattern. It'll go back and forth, mind you, but at least right now, the trend is to keep it nice and cold, and that's where we're going to be today, sunny and chilly. Let's get you ready for the bus stop. Kids probably are full of candy this morning, after they did a very nice job, I'm sure, getting canvassing the candy in their neighborhoods. But temperatures will go through the 30s by the pickup time, say 2 to 3:30. Between 2 and 3:30, we should be around 46 degrees, finishing the day around 49. There's my high for Knoxville. Now we might nudge a 50 in Kingston and Athens, about a 50 for Tellico Plains and Madisonville. But my expectation today is 44. For Middlesboro, Bell County, 47 for Morristown, White Pine, Talbot, Dandridge, Jeff City, about 45 for Crossville, Cumberland County, and 45 for Oneida, 47 for La Follette. Now, it is cold. I got the surprised emoji look. There's maybe a cold head there that's turned blue. But, you know, when it takes up until 2 minutes before 8, 2 minutes before 8 o'clock and it's still dark, boo. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. But remember, we're going to subtract an hour this weekend. So 7:58 will soon become 6:58. You say, well, that's more like it. But when it's 6:41 sunset now, which it is, it'll be 5:41 in the short term. So by this weekend, you're like, it gets dark before 6. That's terrible. but at least you get an extra hour sleep, right? This whole changing of the clocks experiment that we've been doing for many a decade, a long time, will be in effect this weekend. 4 days away until the clock changes. 2 o'clock becomes 1 o'clock Sunday morning. 2 becomes 1, and that's a good reminder to change the batteries in your smoke detectors. By the way, I'm going to do a more detailed look on fall color tomorrow, but an overview is that many areas out west have already seen their glory. They're past peak in some of these burgundy areas, darker colors from Minneapolis, St. Paul into Wisconsin. There's still a lot of color across parts of maybe Indiana and Ohio, but it's really been nice across the mountains of West Virginia, but they're adding a little snow to it as well. Parts of Maine, New England has seen their best days. They're behind us. And for us, many of us thought this past weekend could have been very well the best time. But I want to say a special thanks to Evan Fall, Explore Fall, because they do a great job of giving us intel, and I'll have another updated picture of this come tomorrow. So I invite you to check back as we're still watching for some beautiful fall color. Now you have to deal with the chill and the fall color. Now we have reached a new month. I put an arrow there because we average 4 1/4, just under 4 1/4 inches of rain in the month of November. And if you have been noticing the drought conditions that have developed over the last couple of months, both September and October in Knoxville have been exceedingly dry. In fact, let me give you some stats. September, 0.42, tied for the 5th driest September. October, 0.63, tied for the 9th driest October. So you've got, I mean, when you got 152 years of record keeping going back to the 1870s, 1871 to be precise, that's some really dry air. And now we've got a dry outlook, at least for today, and right through the upcoming weekend. So that's not good news if you are concerned about the water table. Now, taste the winter chill today. Check. It's going to be even colder tonight with more, he says, more sunshine this week. So are you excited about that? You know what I'm also excited about? I'm very excited about my app. You know why I say that? Because we got an update. If you have the Captain Accurate Weather app, I won't belabor it. I'll talk more about this tomorrow too. But it now has a dark mode, which I love because now I can see snow. You have options. If you have, there's the snow. You can see the snow a little bit better there. Up toward the Great Lakes, so you can see the colors. They're more vibrant. There's also a cool added feature to past radar, current radar, and 2 hours radar, future radar. All seamless. It's now been combined. So if you got the update last night, many of you might have gotten it while you may not even have noticed, because some of those updates occur while you sleep. The Captain Accurate Weather app now has some cool features, so I hope you'll check it out. By the way, my friends at A1 Fincham have some great tips to share. They're free tips because they can save you some money. You might want to change your filters monthly. I did that about 2 weeks ago, and I found it to be very helpful. Check for drafts in your home, and I'm sure by now, with this cold air overhead, you probably know where they are, and you might want to seal them up to save you some money this winter. Consider more insulation because older homes typically need more, and you might want to clear the area around the condenser unit, grass, weeds that might be growing around it, and also use a programmable thermostat. Many of us have a programmable thermostat, some don't even use it for that purpose, but if you adjust it down 4 to 7 degrees in winter and move it up in summer, it can also save you quite a bit of money. But you might also want to schedule regular maintenance checks. And of course, A1 Fincham is offering a awesome monthly maintenance plan. If you just tell them Captain Accurate sent you, they can do a great job. They'll come out once before winter, once before summer. You can pay it over the courses of the 12 months, but it's actually very affordable. And it saves you money, much like you think about an oil change or an oiled tune-up on your car. They're preventative, but they also save you money in the long haul. So make sure you check them out. They're at 865-947-4267. Very thankful for A1 Fincham, based in Powell. They've been serving East Tennessee since 1982. Now, the big homecoming game this weekend is at home, obviously, and Connecticut's coming to town. They have only one victory all season, but I'm sure they think that's going to lull us to sleep. No, every game counts. Can't take this for granted. It's a kickoff at noon. It's on the SEC network. We'll go from 55, I think, at kickoff with sunny skies, finishing the game around 69. Halftime should be around 62. So if you're going to the game, sunglasses and maybe a light jacket wouldn't hurt, as it will get from them. What temperature do I have? Saturday morning, I have us down to 34. So 34 for early tailgaters. If you're up really early, we're going to go from the 30s and 40s. And then certainly for Vol Walk, it'll be in the 50s by lunchtime, so that's good news there. Subscribe by my channel on YouTube. It's free. Go to youtube.com/@CaptainAccurate. And speaking of which, I want to double check. How are we doing on YouTube? We got Wanda over here. I got Marilyn Bell and Steve Stone saying, oh, I had some gas logs, says Marilyn, burning. She says, that helps knock out the chill. I love that. And on Facebook, if you're on the call, Carrie's talking about having a hot cup of coffee. I love that. So leave me a note if you've got a comment or suggestion, because what I'll hopefully do is answer that in real time. And if I don't answer it in real time, I'll do it after the broadcast, if you want to call it that, after we're finished. Watching the tropics, though, there's still some activity around the Caribbean that the National Hurricane Center is watching. A 60% chance we get a new storm here. And it's kind of ironic, maybe not ironic, that we have just 30 days left to hurricane season, because it runs from June 1st every year to November 30th. And of course, there's been some talk that to move it up maybe mid-May, because they keep a watchful eye on the tropics. They tend to see some activity sometimes in May. Any time of the year, really, but that seems to be one of the trends that's been discussed. But it will end on November 30th. And this storm, if it gets a name, would likely be given the name Vince. We've already had Tammy and Sean and Rena. We've had Philippe and Ophelia. We've had quite a few names this year. Some have been more notable than others. Right now it's 6:56. We've got 33 degrees if you're just joining me, and with that north wind at 8, it feels like it's much colder. It feels like it's very cold, in fact, as we looked at wind chills just a moment ago. But precipitation chances come back into play not today, not tomorrow, not even this weekend, but sometime by Tuesday, Wednesday. We can cross our fingers and hope that something will actually fall from the sky that's beneficial, because we do need some rain, as we've already highlighted just a moment ago. Storm Prediction Center maps not even showing thunderstorms. How weird is that? Lower 48, it's November. I know that November, December can sometimes have a whole new severe weather type of a wave of energy could come back into play. But at least right now, I mean, that's today. This is tomorrow. Nothing to see here. In fact, the Storm Prediction Center probably could go on a 2 or 3 day vacation, because they don't have anything to surface or anything to circle on their with their colored pencils. There's just nothing on the maps to really suggest thunder. So the severe risk is not an issue. I repeat, not an issue this morning or the next couple of days. But I can show you the temperatures, because with bright sun-filled skies, sun's up 2 minutes before 8 a.m., we should be around 40 at lunchtime. That's pretty cold. That's still cold enough to see your breath, despite the fact that the sun is shining, and many of you could be in the mid-30s still in Oneida, Jamestown, and Crossville, even Middlesboro at lunchtime. By 2 o'clock, mid-40s. By the end of the day, about 49. That's about how I think we'll get, about 49 degrees. Athens could squeeze out a 50 or so, but many areas in the plateau, only the mid-40s, as well as mid-upper for Morristown and Newport. So a very cold outlook today, and the coldest day. Tonight, it's the coldest night, because we're going to be dropping into the mid-20s, as I believe we have that here. Now, we were talking about trick-or-treating. I'm wondering, did you get all the candy that you wanted? Let me know what kind of candy situation. Did you have any left over, moms and dads? And have you been maybe pilfering through the kiddos' pillowcases, if that's what they were using, to pick up maybe their jack-o'-lantern that's been picking up all the candy. But temperatures tonight will drop down into the mid-20s, about 26 for Knoxville, finishing the day tomorrow closer to 58. So there will be some hope that it gets a little bit milder in the days to come, but it's really a slow process. We talked about the snow in West Virginia. It lines up pretty well. They're still getting some flakes this morning, and we'll likely see that through the morning hours. Once we head into the afternoon, more sunshine. Tonight, clear as a bell. We're frosty cold, down to about 26. Thursday, we head toward 58. Big old high-pressure dome across Alabama will keep things nice and bright even on Friday and into Saturday. Nothing to change here. Cold fronts stay well back to the north and west. So for today, now that it's 6:59, sunny skies and chilly. Winds out of the north-northeast about 5 to 10 miles per hour. 49 today. And you can see that some of us won't even approach 49. I'm looking at Oneida, 45, Middlesboro, 44. This is cold. I mean, this feels like winter. Normal high this time of year is 66, by the way. So we're going to be running about, 17 degrees below normal today in Knoxville. And the normal low is 42. Many of us have dropped into the 20s, so it's just remarkably cold, and it's going to be with us at least for another night. Tonight, 50, a high temperature in Jackson, 52 Chattanooga. If you're traveling today, You may escape some of the chill if you head toward Atlanta. They'll be in the lower 50s, about 53. But here it is. Drum roll, please. Tonight, down to 20 in Middlesboro, 28 for Oak Ridge, 26 for Morristown, 25 in Sevierville. Got some other questions. How are you coping with the cold? And did you get all the candy that you hoped for? I remember when my kids were a lot littler, I'd always kind of look at the candy, kind of peruse what they didn't want to eat, because there was always a candy in there. They said, I don't even know what this is. I said, I know what that is, and I'll take that too. But sometimes people don't. Susan says hello, and she sent some stars. Thank you, Susan. Very sweet. And Crystal says, I heard my wind chimes banging or playing loudly last night. The wind was strong. Crystal, that's true. And when it's this cold, boy, it cuts right through you. So make sure that you have the coat that you like, that a winter coat. I mean, let's call it what it is. We haven't had this chill in a while. And Felicia says, happy November. Stay warm. Have a great Wednesday. So glad to have you all here. And for those that might still be on YouTube, as we've now increased our viewership here, Steve is here in Maryland and Wanda. So just to recap, tonight will be colder than this morning. This morning, many of us are close to freezing. I believe it was 33 at Knoxville's McGee Tyson Airport at, say, 6 o'clock. Now that it's 7 o'clock, we may have dropped another degree or two. But tonight, 26, clear as a bell, very cold and frosty too. So make no mistake about it. Any concerns for potted plants, if you didn't bring them in this morning, last night, you'll want to do it again tonight, because it will be just as cold. Here's your Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville, East Tennessee. Sure, there's a warming trend, but you won't know it in the morning. 58 Thursday afternoon, 63 Friday afternoon, and it looks beautiful. Once you get through the chill, look at that, 34 for early tailgaters, because it's a noon game, right? Tailgating starts at the crack of dawn, if not sooner, as you prepare. But milder sun to finish. Saturday afternoon, 69. We do change the clocks. That takes place at 2 in the morning. On Sunday, becomes 1 a.m. And then we're back to the 70s, and we've got at least some hope. If not some rain on Tuesday, maybe a better chance on Wednesday. So it's down the road. It's not off the chart, but we could use every drop. I know that we had a little bit to end out the month of October a couple of days ago, but it wasn't enough to really solve our issues. Anyway, want to make sure that you check out A1 Fincham Heating and Cooling. I love them because they've been around since 1982. And one of the cool things is they also have, family owned and operated since 1982, they have the monthly maintenance plan. They'll come out once before winter, once before summer, and make sure that your heating and air conditioning systems are in good working order. And they have discounts. Did I hear discounts? They have discounts for seniors. Oh, I got your attention. And veterans. If you're a veteran, you're a senior, maybe you're both. Check them out, a1fincham.com. A1fincham.com is also their website, but their phone number is 947-4267, 865-947-4267. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. Stay warm. We'll see you here next time. Take care.